Hey friends, TUXX here. You know, storing and organizing MP3s and audio files can be quite daunting when you have tons and tons of them. We're talking like not just a gig, but we're talking like 500 gigs, a terabyte or more. It can really be a task, okay? So I've been using my Microsoft Surface Pro, but there is a downside, is that there is no CD drive built in. So as much as I love using Surface Pro, a better solution, one that you may already own in the closet somewhere, is using an old laptop, okay? And this isn't terribly old. This is a Dell Studio 17 laptop with, you know, all the bells, all the whistles. I bought this bad boy back around 2005, maybe, roughly, right around that time. And you might say, oh, why would you want to use an older laptop, you know? And here's the thing, is that I have newer laptops, okay, obviously. But when it comes to actually organizing media, this can be something that can actually rip CDs as well as put them onto your DAP players, your various ones. Like this is a Sony NWA306, okay? And of course, you can use flash drives and other things too to incorporate into it. And as a bonus, it may even have, check it out, Windows Media Center. And if you're not familiar with Windows Media Center, that is kind of before streaming was such a thing, and you know, online TV stations that are live online on the network, that kind of thing. Windows Media Center was kind of like the go-to high-end, maybe rich person version of, you know, having a cable converter or a satellite dish. It was something where, you know, you're using a PC to store things, you know, and if you're torrenting movies and things like that, it really came in handy, you know. But really a great program. I used it for many years until it became outdated due to different plugs and different other offerings, you know. But as far as having it on this laptop, it really can be a plus for you, and it may give some additional sources for tagging and organizing music in particular, or playing music as kind of a jukebox, if you will. You know, I had this rigged up back in the day where I had Windows Media Center in several rooms of my house, and I could play music from one room to the bedroom to another room, and I would display on the monitor as well, not just playing music. Of course, you could always have, you know, satellite speakers in different rooms, but to be able to have that hooked to a monitor was something quite incredible in 2005, 2004, you know. So anyway, guys, to reel this back in, so if you have an old laptop like this could be something great for actually, you know, fixing your MP3s, storing your MP3s, that kind of thing, okay? So it's good that you didn't throw it away. If not, of course, you can buy these pretty much used very easily on eBay or whatever. Just make sure you get a good one. Try and find a good quality one that isn't too worn. Now, this bad boy, I was daily drivering it back in the day, so it does have a few little scratches on the mouse pad or whatever, but in general, it's pretty good. And what makes this really special is, again, that these days, it seems like the age of having great laptops with all sorts of new functionality is kind of gone, you know. But back in the day, they had all sorts of crazy stuff going on. Let me just show you here. Besides the JBL sound system on here, this has all the bells and whistles. This has, of course, it has a CD drive, so you can rip CDs, which is really handy. It has USBs for flash drives, very good. It has a thing for, you know, memory cards, that kind of thing. And this is probably the bigger one, so you can use an adapter if you want to, you know, to actually plug in one of the smaller modern EX cards, you know. But very cool. And of course, on the back here, it has all the usual Ethernets and all the different plugs, everything you need. On this side here, a full array of plugs, including some like technology which isn't used as much anymore. If I can pull it out here, let's see. It's, you know, the larger type memory card. This is just like a dummy stick, but it's that form factor. Like, so like I found that in some cars. The Dodge Challenger I bought new back a few years ago, around 2018 or 17 or something. That one, well, it was quite a few years ago. That one did have that installed too, but all sorts of great things as far as plugs, everything you need to actually, you know, alter, you know, music, which is really great. And the fact that you can stick in a bigger hard drive if you want, or a really big flash drive, you know, makes it very easy. In fact, I would recommend, you guys know that I love using flash drives for music, put all your music on a flash drive, you know, and then just simply take it from one laptop, you know, to another and move it around, if you will. Now, a program that I really recommend for tagging still remains, this is kind of like a July update, if you will. That's touching the touchpad. Is the MP3 tag, okay? And you can see I already have it right here on my desktop. It's a program I use all the time. In fact, I love this program. It is the best, in my opinion, when it comes to tagging and reorganizing, you know, MP3 art, you know, tags, everything. Very, very handy. I get a lot of questions about this, but if you are trying to get your music collection onto a new laptop, it's very simple. all you have to do is just plug it in. In this particular case, we have our Sony NWA 306. I'm going to plug in the USB-C here, okay? Just like that, super simple. Got it plugged in tight. Now take the USB end. We're going to plug that into the laptop here, and now we can just transfer our music very simply. We're going to go ahead and click on device. It's installing device right now. We're on here, you're going to click file transfer, okay? File transfer, the middle one. Okay, it's creating a database for you. So after plugging it in, now it says Walkman installed. So that's the Sony NWA 306 installed. And now all we have to do is go ahead and open a file. So now you see two file folders here. This is the Walkman internal memory and the external memory, okay? We'll go ahead and just click on one of these. We'll just do the internal memory for right now. Keep it simple. And then we can find the music here under music. So right now we're transferring our music from the Sony NWA 306 over to the laptop, our little music jukebox, our music bank, if you will. And you can see it's transferring, it's going very quickly. And again, these are very large DSF files. You can see it's transferring very quickly, very fast. So that's awesome. And now our music is loading here. And of course, we could load out a lot more, but for purposes of this video, I'll just work with these particular ones we have here. Okay, so you can see we have Gorilla, we got Hall & Oates, Oasis, Pearl Jam, all sorts of stuff, new and old. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna reopen this MP3 program. Okay, and that's MP3 tag. And now we're going to add directory. So we're going to hit File, and we need to add directory. Right down there, add directory. And we'll go to Music, click on that, and select folder. It wants to actually do a folder. Okay, so that might be a little bit of a problem. Let's go ahead and we'll add, in this particular case, let's do Gorillas. So we're adding Gorillas here, and you can see it very quickly adds them. And then from there, once you click on a song, it will actually show you the album art and everything included. So if you did have to change the album art, you know, or some of the tags, you know, title, genre, album, song title, etc. If I didn't want to say feature Thundercat, I don't really care about Thundercat particularly. Sorry, Thundercat. We'll take that. We're going to backspace, delete that. There we go. And now we can just save it. Now, when using MP3 tag, one thing to keep in mind is you really do want to save, okay? I have heard some people actually make lots of changes, that kind of thing, and they move on to the next song without saving. You really want to save. So I do recommend hitting save each and every time just to make sure your updated tags are saving properly. If you wanted to, you could click on the song here. We'll go ahead and give this a little click. There we go. And Windows can't open the file because it's a DSF file. Wah, wah. But that's okay, because we're not really going to listen to it on here anyway. When it comes time to listen to this DSF file, it will have no problems. Now, if your Windows installation won't play DSF files, like maybe some older ones won't, although DSF comes from WMAs technically, so you think it would, but you know, I could see things happening like right there, it didn't play for me. So if for some reason your Windows installation will not play a DSF file, sometimes it's upgrading to the next version of Windows. Like if you're using the original laptop, like this laptop again, I got it around brand new around 2005-ish, 4-ish, I guess 5-ish. And so if the original version of Windows that came as an OEM on the laptop will not play DSF files, sometimes you just have to upgrade. So just grab yourself another copy of Windows and go ahead and just install it. And then you can see here I did that. And then now it can actually play the DSF files. There is plenty of things you can download. Sometimes they're purchasable, like on like Google Play Store, to be able to add DSF files to, you know, the audio codec to your system for just like $1 or something, you know. So maybe that's an easier route. But, you know, if you don't want to spend the $1 on some, you know, weird third-party software or whatever, sometimes just reinstalling Windows can solve the problem. In this case, it solved the problem. So now here we have my music. And this is a small little sampling of DSF files I transferred over before. I could easily add more files to it. But you can see some of these here have pictures and some don't, you know. And that does happen. Sometimes photos become corrupt. You lose the photo. Sometimes you just want to change the photo for whatever reason, you know. So it's very simple. No matter what you want to do, changing it or getting, you know, a different one, like if it's corrupt or something, or just not showing, you know, the answer is still the same, which for me, that is that MP3 software, which I have opened up right here. And in this particular case, for the example, I opened up Cracker, and this time you can see it did open up. And if I play here, it'll definitely play one of these songs. We'll give it a shot. Of course, I can't play too much of this music, otherwise I'll get a copyright strike. But you can hear it here. It's playing. Everything's good. Okay, but there's a problem. let's say I don't like this graphic here. Let's go ahead and maximize this. So you can see the graphic I have for this, which is actually the correct graphic for the album, you know, for New Gold Gorillaz, Cracker Island, his CD album, whatever. And I did want to change it though. There's some options here. So in the MP3 software, if you go over here, you can actually change it. Go under Tag Sources at the very top. You see the little drop-down menu, okay? Go to Cover Art right there. And there's a few options that you can use. I use the Discords, this one here, okay? And then basically it will search for Cracker Island, and it will give me a variety of different types of artwork right here. Sometimes different sizes, sometimes different pictures. Let me go ahead and just pick a different picture. I wish these JPEGs were a little larger. There might be a way of making them larger. Let's try and scale this real quick. Now it looks like they still stay kind of small. So, oh, there we go. Okay, if you just hover over it, you can see there's ones which are a little bit darker. Oh, that one's kind of cool. Look at that. So we have a few different options for artwork. There we go. It's kind of funny. In one of our cars, it was requested a kind of internet hit, Fluttershy's, I don't know, something dairy air. I'm using the correct, like, you know, term, dairy air, not the actual word. And so I changed the graphic to a picture of Fluttershy, of course, from My Little Pony, with her little dairy air pointed at the camera, which is kind of funny. So sometimes you can do some fun little stuff like that. But let's go ahead and switch this one here to this Gorillaz image. Like, I kind of like that image. That's pretty cool. So we're going to highlight that. We're going to hit next. And here we go. So now you can see here's the artwork. Looks like there's some other things. There's tag information. This is for the song New Gold. I guess that's the, like, I don't know if you want to say the 45, the single photo for New Gold, the single graphic. We're going to click OK. It says, do you want to keep the existing covers? Yeah, well, let's say no, just for fun. Okay, and now you can see over here is that new graphic, okay? And if we go to play this song, well, first, I guess I should always save. Gotta take my advice here and always back up and save, okay? So after saving here, you can see we can click on this. It shows the correct icon right here, the new one. And if you double click, you can see there's, I guess it was like a vinyl. That's interesting, like kind of a picture disc. There is the new graphic that we selected for the Tame Impala New Gold collab song from Cracker Island Gorillaz. So anyway, it's very easy, guys. Just make sure you save. And that way you can actually change your photos and you can update things. You know, it'd be really fun to, like, if you have, you know, if you're making like a combo CD or something, and if you, like, you and your girlfriend have like a favorite song or something, you know, kind of if you're making like an old mixtape like back in the day, you could actually like put little pictures of you two together or something on the beach and blah blah blah. Like that's really sweet. So just a little thought that might make a cute little gift or something. All right guys. If you have any questions about this, please let me know in the comments below. Again, this is also something you could easily do with the old laptop and make it a Linux box. Okay, so if that interests you, let me know in the comments below or shoot me an email, tuxtoys@gmail.com. You guys know I'm here to help, okay? I hope this helps you. This is a very common question. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.